Hey YouTube, I'm going back to filming on the camcorder because I think we can agree the iPhone was not the best. The volume wasn't very good, didn't capture things well. Also, I put off this video for a while. I didn't want to do it at home. I have Jewish roommates. I didn't want to offend anybody, or do I? So, of the three religions, we got Christianity, which I think we can say it's pretty safe to bash. We bash all the time. We got Islam, which, well, that's the big debate. Can we criticize it? The whole thing with the mosque and the Quran burning has brought to light the whole issue of what is racism against Islam, what's Islamophobia versus criticism of the religion, and that's a major debate. But then we got Judaism, which no one criticizes, which if you criticize in the least, you are a Nazi. And I wanted to talk a bit about it. I think we can all agree that of the three Abrahamic religions, Judaism has always seemed to be the most inoffensive. Traditionally, you don't have the Jewish terrorists, although they're Palestinians who will say otherwise, but that's a whole other issue. Yet, you can't deny that Judaism was the first, and if you take the Torah literally, it does endorse slavery. You do see the beginnings of homophobia. You see all these things which the later two then rather amplified. Unfortunately, with Judaism, as with Islam, the whole religion has become so mixed with the culture that criticizing the religion gets you labeled as a bigot. So I kind of always have to preface these comments by saying, you know, I'm criticizing Judaism, the religion. I have no problem with Judaism, the culture. It's the same as any other culture. Anyone who is against that culture is an absolute bigot. I am talking simply about the religion. And I know very few people who actually do take the religion very seriously. In fact, it's well known that the majority of Jews tend to be, you know, liberal, secular Jews, and they are always criticizing the really Orthodox Jews. You know, nobody hates an Orthodox Jew more than a liberal Jew. I'm sure you've all heard that other old joke, what's the best place to find a bunch of atheists? In a synagogue. This one story I want to tell was back when I was filming for The Apprentice last season. They would have crew holding at various spots near the location of the task. On this occasion, the crew holding was in the attic of a kosher restaurant. So we're all holed up there, and eventually someone from the restaurant comes along and tells us that because it's a kosher place, we can't have any dairy there, and we have to throw out our coffee. Now, you ever been around production people, cameramen, you tell them they can't have coffee, and it's not a happy atmosphere. This event kind of affected me because up until then, I was pretty much indifferent to kosher laws. I think I felt about kosher the same way most people do, which is, you know, hey, whatever you want to eat or not eat, that's up to you. Your diet doesn't affect me, so that's cool. I don't believe in kosher, but if you want to, that's fine. It's tradition. But now, this was the first time where someone was telling me that I couldn't eat something because of the location I was in. That his kosher rules affected me, even though I wasn't part of the religion, but just by virtue of the fact that I was in this location. And no one likes to be told what to do, so that kind of upset me. And it's one of those things of, okay, you know, if you don't want to mix meat and dairy, that's fine for you, but if you're going to put it on me, then I am going to criticize, and I am going to ask, well, wait a minute, why? Why is this a law? And when it comes down to it, the reason that it's wrong to mix meat and dairy, as well as the reason it's wrong to eat pork or shellfish, is all because it says so in a book that one chapter earlier is endorsing slavery, and 2 chapters later is saying that you should kill someone who tries to lead you away from the religion. So ultimately, you know, I got a lot of Jewish friends, I got Jewish roommates. Most of my friends have been Jewish most of my life, especially growing up in Jersey and New York. So, you know, don't misconstrue this and say I'm an anti-Semite. I'm not. But Judaism does not get a free pass. And Judaism can be dangerous under the right circumstances. And again, I don't want to discuss the whole Israel-Palestine debate, but I think whereas in the past, Americans have always favored Israel and kind of villainized the Arabs, now I've noticed with the new generation taking over, there has been a lot more criticism of the Israelis. And And again, it doesn't mean, anti-Semitism. It means we're just trying to find a peaceful solution to that. And there have been some Muslims who've told me that, take a good look at Israel and you will see Jewish fanaticism, but I'm not going to comment on that. So, in conclusion, I'm not a big fan of Christianity. I'm not really the biggest fan of Islam, although I know I'm a foreigner to it. And while Judaism does get points for being the tamest of the three, I do still stand by my original position that I do think the only way that there will ever be peace, particularly in the Middle East, is if we get rid of all three Abrahamic religions.